Hello everyone, long time to see you. This is the last Alexstrasza build, and I leave it for last because this is more complicated to explain and it changed completely the way you play Alexstrasza. So this build is the E build or the flame build. I just call it E build, it's easier. Besides, it's really easy to know which talents to take. Like you take this, you take this, you take, it's kind of obvious what you have to pick. It's not obvious at all the way you have to play it. So that's what I'm going to teach in this tutorial because you have to learn how to keep the things under control, how I call this. So this build make Alexstrasza not be anymore a back healer. If you have see my others videos about Alexstrasza, like the Q build, the basic tutorial, even the W build, will make you think that Alexstrasza is a backline healer, that you always have to keep your HP as much possible full, so that way you can make your Q more worth. But in this case everything changed. So the E build will turn Alexstrasza to make herself be more into the conflict in the team fights. She's not that bad anymore because she turned herself in someone offensive. So, for example, if some healers they are more offensive, they really introduce themselves in the conflict in the battle. Like for example, Rhaegar or Karasin, they besides be healer, they fight too. They're like frontline too. Alexstrasza, that doesn't mean that she will frontline, but she will be really close to the frontline. So let's think of this. So you have the front line and the back line. Alexstrasza will be like in the mid. She will be way in the back. She's gonna be in the mid because she also gonna help to secure kills with the slows. So we're gonna get into that point, but for now you have to dominate the most difficult part of this build, that is make this quest. This quest seems easy to do. Oh, you only have to get 20 stacks. Yes, it's easy to do. But if you want to play Alexstrasza with her most and best potential, you need to learn way more than just that. So, because we want to get all the stacks faster as we can, you have to make sure in different factors that can happen at the same time. So if you're a person that plays like in tunnel vision, I tell you don't do this build at all because you have to be paying attention in more things in the same time. So for example, the first team fight, everyone in the mid fighting, you say this is your best chance to get your stack, and it is. But you have to pay attention and that you cannot miss your E because you're gonna burn your mana so fast. And burn your mana in early game so fast is really bad because you're not only gonna be spamming your E, you have to heal too. So you have to spend your E and your other abilities too. And you can consume your mana so fast. So the first thing I will let you know is never miss that E. So that's why I recommend this build in these kind of situations. When you have a lot big targets in the enemy team, or most of the enemy team, they are melee. So that way it is more easier for you to don't miss your E and keep your mana up. Less, of course, if you have a lot of practice with this build and you're really pro with it in your skill shot, okay, you can do it freely whenever you want to, as long as you don't miss your E. So the other situation I can recommend you to use the E build is when you're going to do this kind of maps that you're not always fight as 5. Sometimes in the early game you need to or take care of yourself, or you need to do PvPs or 2v2s. This build is good because when you reach level 7, if the person don't have burst damage, is nothing that can really burst you down, you can keep yourself in the fight. And if you're really good with this build and you know how to control the slows and the heal you receive with your E, and of course you other skills, you can even win PvPs. So for example, maps that could be like that. Dragon Shrine, um, Brax's Hollout. What's the name of this other one? Um, I forgot the name. This map there is about to drop nukes. Well, that one with the nukes. So let's start with the build, and I'm just gonna explain you. Imagine that this is the first team fight, and you need to get your stacks. So when you hit over again the same target, your mana is refalling. But you cannot only focus in your target, you can also have to heal your allies. So because you are constantly spamming your E, you kind of miss the E because you're gonna burn your mana so fast, and then gonna be like minute 1 and you're gonna be already without mana. So this is a trick. If you're not really good at this, the best I can tell you is do your thing in the minions. So you can use your E in the minions, like across. So you have this across line. So that means if you're sitting in here, you can shoot a here, and a here without lose your mana, just in case if you actually miss the person, because of course it's way more easier to hit a minion than hit a person. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna burn, and you're gonna move across the burn line you did around it. So you're gonna use the minions that are already burned to try to burn persons if they're getting hard to get hit by it. So you're gonna use the minions. The minions went down so fast. So basically what I'm trying to explain to you is these are the minions. You're gonna burn across. So you're gonna move around this like your fire line. So you're gonna use the minions to try to hit the heroes without make sure you will not lose your mana. You should. The idea is to get these stacks before level 7. If you do it around level 7, it's okay. But if you do it after level 7, you're doing bad. It's like when you play Kel'Thuzad, and if you don't have your stack before you level 10, you're doing something wrong. It's the same thing with this build. You have to try to get your stacks around level 7. If you do after level 7, it's something that you're doing wrong. Or it's not becoming that easy for you to get it.
Puedes seleccionar un talento. Te mereces este talento.
Right, so this is when Alexstrasza turned herself in someone offensive, because the idea in your team comp when you play Evil Alexstrasza is have someone in your team that can get something good from your slows. For example, like a Rainer. So that's when you get the slows is when you're gonna start to introduce yourself a little bit more into the fights that like I was explaining earlier. But you have to be careful. When I mean from the beginning to don't miss your E, it's not just because you will not lose your mana, it's because if you miss your E, the person will not be slows anymore, and then you're gonna be supposed to die. So it's kind of delicate, this build, if you try to play serious, because you can keep control on the target if you don't miss your E. Because you know how much is your move speed, and you know how much is the person in a slow, so you can move and keep your distance from being in danger without stop poking him. So that way taking the chance of your slow, adventure of your slow, is how you're gonna get your stack that fast before 7 or around 7, level 7. So this is the thing I was trying to explain from the beginning about this build, that it's not that easy to play, because you have to remember these factors. First factor, don't consume your mana in skills that you know you will not get. For example, if you're fighting against someone that is way backline and also jumps, for example, an Elimine, they're gonna be pretty hard to hit a skill shot if she's good enough. You're just gonna lose your money in something that you know you will not get. So think on that. First, the mana. Second, use the minions as use the minions to don't miss your E. Basically how I explained earlier. Don't forget, never forget to heal your team. And don't expose yourself in the middle of the fight if you're not keeping the control of the enemy's slows. That's why I meant earlier in the tutorial, like, you need to keep the control in this build, because if you lose the control in your skill shot and you don't keep the enemy team slows, you're gonna expose yourself to be killed. So that's not it. That's when you're fail in this build. When you actually dominate this build is best, because you're gonna have a lot of pressure on in the team fights, constantly spamming a line of 60% slows, spamming that, and if your team is good enough, they can get a bunch of it and use the same control you're using to keep yourself in safety. They're gonna use the slows to catch kills, or know when to strike back, or whatever, because they can trust in you that you're keeping the situation in control. At level 7, this is when the fun start, because in the others builds, like it's a way to you keep yourself up, because you know Alexstrasza have the problem when every time she uses the Q, she consumes her own HP. So the Q, for example, have the flower, that is this flower, that every time when you pick it up you can keep your HP same. The W have, you know, more regeneration for glove and extra buff and stuff. The flame build have this. So every time you hit a hero for a second time, doesn't matter if 1 or 2, it will be 10% of your of Alexstrasza maximum HP per hero hit. So it's so fun though when this kind of noob situation happens, when the people is chasing you and you're Alexstrasza e-build and they're chasing you in a straight line. So basically you're just gonna run and strike behind, run, strike behind. They will not reach you because they're getting the 60% slow, and you are getting all your HP back. So that's the most dumbest thing you can do when you're chasing Alexstrasza e-build, so don't do it. If you're gonna chase Alexstrasza, jump with a dive or something like that, or come around, spawn up and go around, but don't chase her in a straight line because it's so stupid. Don't do it. So at level 10, oh well, yeah, resuming, this is how Alexstrasza get her HP back. because if she's consuming HP, her HP with her Q, she starts to get her HP back at level 7, and is when she is also able to do a possible PvP. For example, in case I have PvP Diablos with Alexstrasza build. It's hilarious. As long as you keep yourself far from the walls, it's fine. So, because now you're getting HP back up, and of course you already practice yourself to don't miss your E, you can, if the enemy doesn't have something to burst you down, you can PvP someone.
Los infieles en el mundo.
The E-Bill, most of the time, I recommend the Cleanse Flame because it go with the reason of the build. The build is a build to be offensive, to be an offensive support, and well, let's finish to be offensive. That we get Cleanse as Flame. If you want to know more details about why this ours, you can see the basic tutorial that explain better all the heroics and the Dragon Queen and all of that. Or you can see, it's not, I haven't uploaded it yet, but I will make a video just about the best way you can use the heroics, when to use it, how to use it, and the Dragon Queen form with, of course, with video, with actual gameplays. But for now, I can recommend you to get Cleanse Flame. Of course, Live Binder could be useful too. It depends on the way you play. Like I say, it's always situational. Just like this, the same I always repeat in all videos. This is situational. You take this one if you see the team have a lot of annoying CCs. You take this one if you see that the team have one hero that is burning down everyone, like a Barian Twin Blades or a Butcher or something like that. Or you get this one if you want to do a little bit of AoE damage or you feel like you're missing heals. So I don't know, I'm gonna get whatever, this one. So level 16, you're gonna get the dragon, of course, because if you have built yourself all around to fight as Dragon Queen form. So if you're good with this build, you're basically gonna have your Dragon Queen form for almost all the objectives. You know, in the maps, all the objectives are announced a minute 2 with 30 seconds. So you always going to have for the first objective your Dragon Queen form up. Let's think. Curse Hollow. For the first curse, you're gonna have your Dragon Queen form up, but for the second curse, you won't have it. So you have to use your Dragon Queen form smartly. Or if you are good with this build and you got your stacks really fast, let's say you have the luck to get your stacks really fast, and you keep farming stacks and stacks and stacks, you can be able to have your Dragon Queen form for the second objective. So when you're good at this build, the idea is that you need to learn how to fight with the dragon. So at the early of this build, you need to know how to play really well with the skill shots. After this build, you need to learn how to fight with your Dragon Queen form. If you don't know how to fight with your Dragon Queen form, you're missing the point of the build. Why? Because of this talent. You know, most of the time I have said that you can take your heroic over again. It's good too, but if you are really good and ambitious, you take this one. Why this one? Because this one is the best combination with the talent level 7, with the talent level 4. Because this says, while the Dragon Queen is active, Alexstrasza's basic attacks apply flame, but her attack is reduced by 25%. Okay, do you know what that means? That means every time when you're gonna do a basic attack, you're gonna do this. That is the debuff you leave on the targets every time when you do your thing. You know, the slows and stuff. You're gonna do it with your basic attacks. So you just think of it. you're gonna turn yourself into a dragon. The dragon basic attack is a cone, a AoE cone, and you're gonna be doing a 60% AoE cone slow plus the 10% of HP you're gonna get healed back from your talent level 7. So you literally can turn back a team fight in late game. You can be even a tank if you're good enough with it. Okay, I'm really low HP, finally. And this is how I show you how. Look at that, I'm hitting 2 targets. Look, all the HP I'm getting back from it. Just hitting 2 targets. And you can of course keep the control with the slow, the knock, more slows and stuff. So this build at level 20 is really strong. So if you want to know more about how to fight as best as you can with the dragon, I recommend you to see the video I'm going to upload after. It's gonna be about that. And basically that's it for now. So remember this: get your stacks faster as you can. Try to don't miss your mana or burn your mana in necessary things or targets you know that you're gonna get that easy. Use your minion to help you with that. Don't forget to heal your team. Try to be offensive in the meaning to use your slows. They're really strong to your favor and the favor of your team to control the situation. Don't expose yourself. And when you get the dragon, call down all the tenants you want to. You need to learn how to fight really well with the